In the headlines, 30 children abducted in Katsina regain freedom. Academic Staff Union of Universities asked to convene crucial meeting on Monday after receiving house salary in October. Residents in Osun State appeal for repairs to their collapsed bridge. And finally, 5 killed in suicide bombing at Somalia military camp. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thanks for joining. And now the news in detail. 30 children who were abducted by terrorists in Katsina State have regained their freedom. The children were kidnapped on Sunday while working on a farm in Mairua community, Faskari local government area of Katsina State. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, on Friday had urged authorities to swing into action and rescue the children. In a statement signed by UNICEF representative in Nigeria, Christian Madwete, the UN agency described the abductions as reprehensible. A police spokesperson, SP Gambo Isa, confirmed their release in a statement on Saturday. He said that the victims, comprising 17 girls and 13 boys, had been reunited with their families and investigation is ongoing. The abducted children are aged between 15 and 18 years. And now to Imo State, where the police command has confiscated 3 rifles, ammunition and other dangerous weapons from a house belonging to a gang leader identified as Ibuka. Imo Police Public Relations Officer Michael Abatam disclosed this while speaking to newsmen in the state. According to the PPRO, the divisional police officer in charge of Oguta Station received a distress call reporting of a house burglary. He said that police officer responded immediately, but upon investigation, one of the village native in Oguta local government area of the state confessed to the crime and said his boss, who is their gang leader, instructed him to burgle houses and keep the stolen items in his house. However, when the house was searched, 3 automatic English pistols, 46 live GPMG ammunitions, 58 live 7.62 mm and other items were recovered in his possession. The PPRO said the Commissioner of Police, Muhammad Ahmed Barde, ordered the command to ensure that the fleeing suspect and all the members of the gang are apprehended. And the insecurity situation is escalating by the day, especially in communities of southern Katsina, otherwise known as Funtua Zone. Funtua Zone, with 11 local government areas, is gradually coming under persistent bandits attacks, killings, kidnappings, rustling of animals and destruction of properties. In Katsina, Abdullahi Yamadi went to some communities in Funtua and Faskari local government areas where some residents say hardly one could find a community that is not affected by the terrorist attack. His report.
Parents of the abducted children, who are mostly from poor backgrounds living from hand to mouth, have been crying since the incident on Sunday afternoon. Some of them neither sleep nor eat for the past 6 days following the trauma of the abduction that has thrown the entire community into despair and apprehension.
I am really disturbed and worried, but I'm always praying to God Almighty to bring them back home safe and sound. They took 2 of my daughters, an 18-year-old and 15-year-old. They kidnapped 2 of my children. I'm really in a very bad state. All I'm praying is for them to be set free and come back home.
While seeking divine intervention, the parents are also calling for government's intervention to rescue the children from the hands of the terrorists. Now it is almost a week since the unfortunate abduction of our children, and it doesn't seem the government is doing something about it, and the owner of the farm is under arrest. In this situation, what do we do? Already, the terrorists are demanding the sum of 30 million naira ransom to secure the release of the abducted children, or in the alternative, the owner of the farm make himself available to them in the next couple of days. We are so much worried, confused, and traumatized. We have exhausted all our efforts, and the bandits have been calling and threatening to sell our children out if their demands are not met. Speaking off camera, the Sarkin Rafin Katsina district head of Merua, Sani Idris Sambo, gave assurances that plans are underway by the relevant stakeholders to rescue the children unhurt. He, however, expressed worries over increasing spate of insecurity bedeviling in some parts of Merua district, which has worsened living condition of many communities. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And still on matters of insecurity, the need to properly profile any resident who indicates interest to join the vigilante group or any other community-based security outfit has been stressed. This follows recent concerns by stakeholders over the involvement of some bad eggs among the vigilantes and other security guards formed to bolster security in communities. Silas Lawan has this report.
The rise in insecurity in the country has led to the popularization of vigilantes, a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority, typically because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. Seen as a necessity in communities where security is inadequate, traditional leaders, with the help of security agencies in Adamawa, have introduced a new policy aimed at sanitizing their operations.
To scrap the vigilante, it is not a good idea. Let's try it and get good ones that will work without fear or favor.
The recent involvement of some bad eggs among the vigilante members has increasingly defeated the real objectives of the group in the communities, as the leadership of the group works toward weeding them out.
We have our registration form. This registration form, when you receive it from the hand, you are going for your village gate. The village gate is to know either you are good or bad. When the villagers sign, district will sign, DPO will sign, SS will sign before I come to sign here. So we are not taking anybody like that.
Some Yola residents said more need to be done for vigilante groups to complement the work of security agencies.
Let their work be sanitized. They help communities sit in peace. I believe giving them the necessary support and encouragement would go a long way towards strengthening their operation. Contribution of vigilante members towards security development in communities are enormous. I don't think scrapping them would be of good to society, especially at this time. However, I see there is need to properly check their work for better.
This is what we are appealing to the government to come to their aid. They don't have vehicle to move. They don't have, even torchlight, we are the one to provide them, even whistle.
They also give assurances that if properly checked and provided the necessary support, vigilantes and other such groups will ensure that peace and security reign supreme in their communities. From Yola, Silas Lawan, Trust TV News.
And now to issues in the education sector. The Academic Staff Union of University ASU, a University of Jos branch, has withdrawn all academic activities in the institution over non-payment of their 8 months backlogs by the federal government. The union took the decision in its congress held in Jos on Friday, directing all lecturers to remain at home until their backlogs of salaries were paid. The withdrawal of academic activities in the institution is coming barely 2 weeks after ASU NEC called off the 8-month strike embarked as a result of the federal government's refusal to implement the 2009 agreement with the union. In a statement, the branch chairman of the union, Lazarus Maigoro, said the students who have already resumed would have to wait indefinitely until their withheld salaries were paid, and while calling on lecturers to remain at home, the union alleged that the Minister of Labour and Employment gave directives to Accountant General of the Federation to stop the payment of the withheld salaries of the members of the union of the institution. President Muhammadu Buhari has been urged to direct the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, to immediately reverse the deduction in the salaries of university lecturers. The federal government paid half salaries to members of the Academy Staff Union of Universities, ASU, for the month of October 2022. Some professors reportedly received salaries ranging from 71,000 naira to 121,000 naira for October. Justifying the decision, Ngige said ASU members were paid their October salaries, and this will take a toll on the lives of these lecturers. And moving on, the President Muhammadu Buhari says he prefers the candidate of his party, Bola Tinubu, to succeed him in order to sustain the legacies he will leave behind. President Buhari stated this at the inauguration of a 385-member campaign council for the reflection bid of Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State in Lafia. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in this report as presented in our studio.
Speaking at the inauguration ceremony in Lafia, President Buhari, represented by his Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Gambari, said the campaign council would be at the forefront for the reflection of Governor Sule and election of Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress. He explained that his administration has been committed to safety and security, revitalization of agriculture and diversification of the economy, provision of infrastructure, fighting corruption, among others, adding that such legacies will be sustained and improved upon if fully Nigerians elect Tinubu the candidate of the ruling party.
He wants, of course, his party to be returned. He wants all the governors of APC to return. He wants more states to become APC states. President
Buhari also called on the people of Nasarawa State to support all APC candidates for various positions in Nasarawa State to consolidate on the achievements so far recorded. On his part, the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Adamu, said the presidential candidate of the party has been tested and trusted in the areas of human capital development, improved revenue generation, and is a man of ideas. Governor Abdullahi Sule of the state lauded the people of the state for their support for him in 2019 election and appealed to them to support him, promising to do more in terms of developing the state. We don't want to lose the election, as we want Bola Tinubu to win. So also we want A.A. Sule to be re-elected. To win the seat of governor without the presidency is a great loss. Because of that, the president and Nasarawa State governor are for APC. We will never allow other political parties to rule.
We are not going to have any overconfidence the way other people are having. We are going to put in all our energy into this campaign until we deliver, because we want to deliver, we want to come back, we want to continue with the good work that we are doing.
Responding on behalf of the members of the campaign council, Abubakar Sandogi, chairman of the campaign council, expressed gratitude to the governor for the confidence reposed on them and promised to lead the party to a resounding victory in 2023.
When you came in, some were saying, no, you are a greenhorn, you are not well known politically. I say it's a lie. This is an international politician, an international businessman, like it has been said by the previous speakers.
Other speakers at the event promised to work towards ensuring success of the party in the state and beyond.
And away from Nasarawa State, the people of Ilobu, the headquarters of Irekbodun, a local government area of Osun State, have expressed worry over the dangerous state of the Laro Bridge in the town. They lamented that the Laro Bridge has become a death trap and almost cutting off many communities in the area from the Ilobu town. Hamid Oyegbadi has more.
The road has become almost impassable. The people of Konda and Atoyebi communities are finding it difficult to move to Ilobu Township because of the dilapidated Laro Bridge. It also affects 3 secondary schools and the general hospital in the area, thereby making it difficult for students to attend schools while residents are unable to access health care at the hospital. The president of Ilobu Ashake Development Union, Olufemi Salako, said the collapsed bridge constituted danger to the people and appealed to the state government to rehabilitate the bridge.
It is the main road connecting the Konda community, the Atoyebi community, the General Hospital of Ilobu, the Muslim playground, and the 3 secondary schools here. In addition to all the agrarian community, this is the road that they used to bring in farm produce, and that all the community, like a quarter of residents of Ilobu, to access the main town, and it's totally damaged.
A community leader, Muideen Adeleke, appealed to the state government to repair the bridge before it leads to affordable deaths.
So we are appealing to the state government to intervene by ensuring that this bridge that is threatened now is almost, cut off. It's almost cut off, and if nothing is done, definitely people living at Konda, among other adjoining communities, will find it difficult accessing the center of Ilobu.
Another community leader in Ilobu, Afusat Alabi, also appealed to the federal government to ensure completion of the Ojutu Bridge that connects Osun and Oyo states to the northern parts of the country.
So I'm using this opportunity to appeal to the federal government, the contractor, all the stakeholders involved, to please come to our aid to complete this particular bridge, because we have a lot of people flying this road. People going from Oshogbo, from Osun State to Oyo State to the north, to another part of the country, they fly this particular road.
The residents said when government repair the bridge, farmers will be able to bring farm produce to Ilobu town, and it will boost the economy of the town. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
You're still watching Trust TV News updates. Coming up shortly, why T-Sports attracts many. Details of this story and more after this short break. Stay with us.
This is the road leading up to the Lokoja Bridge from Abuja, and as you can see, tankers carrying fuel, trucks carrying livestock, perishables, and commuters trying to make their way from point A to point B have all been slowed down as a result of the flooding going on in Lokoja.
As I tell you, so my house is inside water like this.
This is my house, Big Breezy is my house.
We have no option than to come here and look for what we chop.
This water have really spoiled many things. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm not in my own house.
I want to encourage them and assure them that their governor, the governor they elected, had come to see them, and government officials have been going there to see them. They are not in this alone. We are with them.
Welcome back. This is the news update on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. We told you earlier that 30 children abducted in Katsina regained freedom. And Academic Staff Union of University ASU convenes crucial meeting on Monday after receiving half salary in October. And moving on to other stories, Director General of the Delta State Contributory Health Commission, Ben Nkechika, says the state government is providing health insurance to internally displaced persons in the state because the means of livelihood have been eroded by the ravaging flood. Nkechika, who stated this at a joint press conference in Asaba, explained that the state's government is determined to provide access to quality health services to all residents of the state irrespective of their socio-economic status and geographical location. He noted that with the enrollment of the internally displaced persons into the contributory health insurance, they would have access to free quality health care for 1 year even after leaving the camps. He added that the biggest challenge to accessibility of health care for most poor people is affordability, adding that government has seen situations where one medical challenge can wipe out a family's earnings before the health condition is beyond what they can pay for.
People that had lived in very rural communities, so we're extending this program to them where we register them into the scheme through an electronic process. We get their biodata, we get their biometrics on a family tree, father, mother, and the children. We issue them an ID card. With that ID card, they're able to be referred from the clinic within the camp to any of the private or public healthcare facilities for more care beyond what the camp can provide. A big challenge to access to healthcare for most of these poor people is affordability.
Tea drinking habit in northern Nigeria is part of everyday life. Tea selling is common and people patronize the tea spot popularly known as Chai spots for breakfast and dinner. But now tea sellers are selling different kinds of tea with mixture of ingredients that boost health or provides energy to drinkers. In this report, Bello Musa examines the variety of tea and the reason why tea culture is evolving in Kaduna. Take a look.
Northern Nigeria, people patronize Chai spots mostly in the morning and evening. Tea spots are located in residential areas, parks, gardens, and other locations. In Kaduna, tea selling business is lucrative, with sellers offering different tea to satisfy their customers. However, now different ingredients or mixture are found in the tea, which many believed enhances their body system. Some tea sellers in Kaduna say they use different natural herbs to prepare the tea. Tea gives pleasure. We include lime and other ingredients in the tea. Those with cold also do come here to take tea. When you take tea, it prevents you from catching cold because we use ingredients like clove, ginger, and mixture in the tea. As the tea selling becomes more lucrative business in the north, so also the drinking of tea attracts more followership. Tea has become one of the most loved food in the north, so people do take tea 3 times in a day. People also take tea more than any other food. Drinking tea has increased, especially as the cold season is setting in. The sport makes tea drinkers to socialize with one another. According to these customers, the tea not only satisfies them, but enhances their system. I am a bricklayer. If I take tea in the morning, it will take me to 3 to 4 p.m. without taking any food. I get more energy by taking tea. The ingredients and different mixture in the tea gives me satisfaction. It prevents me from cold. If you take tea, especially in the morning, you will not catch cold because your system will be normalized. Now, most people prefer tea that either enhance their body system or provide them with energy, but the question is whether there is health implications attached to excessive tea drinking. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And sellers of perishable foods in Lalong Perishable Markets, popularly known as Feringada Market in Jos North Local Government Area of Plateau State, say that items such as tomatoes, pepper, onions, among others, are always certified okay before they are sold to the public. And this, they said, is done by ensuring that food items brought to the market are checked to ensure if they are healthy for consumption. Ado Musa completes the story. Sorry for not bringing you that story, but a suicide bomber has detonated his explosive near a military training camp in Somalia, killing at least 5 people and wounding 11 others. The attack at the camp in Somali capital Mogadishu was claimed by the Al-Shabaab armed group and comes a week after twin explosions in the capital that left at least 116 dead. So now a military official announced the death toll in a Twitter post, citing the Somali National Army Chief Odowa Yusuf Regge. Azona said that the attack happened at the camp's entrance and quoted Regge as saying that Somali troops thwarted the bomber from reaching his target. Earlier, Adam Yare, another military official, told a newsman that the assailant targeted the Zero Naknak training camp for army recruits. And a protest that had held November 5th saw thousands of distraught demonstration march through Ghana's capital, calling for the resignation of President Nana Akufo-Addo over deteriorating economic conditions. The free-falling city, rising cost of fuel, food costs has worsened living conditions in the country, for which many have blamed the President Nana Akufo-Addo. Protesters clad in red waved the placards and chanted "Akufo-Addo must go" and "IMF no," in a reference to the government's ongoing talks with the International Monetary Fund for billions of dollars to hold up the economy. According to the World Bank, the country has 1 in every 4 persons living on less than $2.15 per day. The protest was the latest in a series of demonstrations this year over the soaring cost of living that has made it even harder for the masses, and it is set to resume on November 15. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.